This is Internet Personality Vangelus, coming to you handheld via the magic of technology. I picked up some new figures. Can you guess what they are? Oh, damn, the lens cap is off. Yes, there's a new movie coming out in about a month called Iron Man. It's about a man who makes iron on himself. Or something. Anyway, I found two of these at a local comics store. Comics boutique, and they looked neat, so I picked them up. They are, as you can see, Iron Man! One of them is a little strange looking, and he has snap-on armor. He is Prototype Iron Man! And the other one with launching repulsor blast is out of the way, you little... Mark03 Iron Man! Clearly I am missing Mark01 and Mark02, but, beggars can't be choosers, ladies and gentlemen. You can be Iron Man! Chance to win an Iron Man toy collection! Well, I've got one right here! I don't need to enter some stupid contests. Anyway, let's just take a look at the back. Iron Man. Driven to heroism by personal tragedy, billionaire industrialist Tony Stark resolves to change the world, becoming the invincible, bold-type Iron Man! Trademark! Exclamation mark. During his captivity, he constructed blah 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 blah. Shrapnel embedded in his chest! That's hardcore. Looks like you can take his clothes off. Excellent. Boys' toys need more of that nowadays. Cross-cells! Hey, I have that one. Ooh, that's big. Let's see what's on the back of the other one. Industrial... I already read that part. The armor suit is the... Are they just going to talk about his armor 3 times? Hey, that's... Wait a second! He has things on his palms. He doesn't need a bigger thing on his... Oh, I bet he's compensating. Detachable repulsor blaster, just in case the 3 or 15 he's built in his armor already don't work right. Let's see... War Machine! Okay, I've seen that guy before. Hey, I saw that guy somewhere else. And it seems to be... Ben Kingsley? I guess. Okay. Well, anything beats Blood Rain. Alright, time to open these up. I'll come back to you via the magic of editing in just about 1 second! 1 second! And we're back. Alright, I've had my way with these figures. And, they're really nice. I haven't bought a Marvel Legend or a Marvel figure for a very long time. And, the one thing that impressed me right away about these was how shiny the red paint is! Holy crap! These things are, like, coated in gloss in every good way. I really like it. This is the Mark III with his repulsor blaster. If you don't like action features, there you go, no more action feature. Nicely posable. I really like the ball torso. The wrists, I have found out, are a point of contention, and I did actually look at them rather immediately, because they can barely go up, but they can go down a lot, which means that Iron Man can kind of... yeah. He's been having a few too many. It's mainly because of this piece of armor up here that blocks it. On this arm, if you push this down and then up, you can get it to kind of go up a little bit, but unfortunately you can't get the classic repulsor blast pose going on. The ball joint the head is on is very tight. In fact, it's easier to just pop it off and then stick it back on if you want to do stuff like him looking up. But, I'm really pleased with this, actually. It's rather cool. The only joint that I don't like, and oh yeah, by the way, in case you're wondering, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, cool stuff. A little bit loose, but eh. And the ankles move and twist, but don't tilt, which is a shame. But the hip joint, it's like a ball joint, just like the shoulder, only it works a little differently. It twists this way, and it twists this way, and it moves on an axis, but it can't just sort of freely move left and right and up and down, so you have to finnick around with a little bit. Finnick. Based on finicky. Overall, though, I'm rather impressed with this. The only problem that I haven't mentioned yet, and everyone, of course, will mention this, are the shoulders, because, doink, they pop off really easily. They'll pop off violently. when you're moving his arms around sometimes, because they'll hit these parts and just sort of go doing and fly off across the room. What none of us are aware of, though, is that that's actually an action feature on another figure, namely the prototype Iron Man, with a rather impressive Robert Downey Jr. face, considering it's a mass-produced toy. Now, I'll get this out of the way. Mine has a slight defect. This little circle in here is supposed to pop out when you press the clearly scratched up button back there. It's scratched up because I was trying everything in the world to get that button to push the circular piece out. I'm going to try to find a really thin knife and cut around here and see if it pops out, because you're supposed to be able to pop that out and then swap in this yellow one, or vice versa, as it pleases you. I don't understand the significance of either, but that's because the movie hasn't come out yet. Now he's got a equip up with armor feature, which is really nice, actually. The only losses are he has no torso joint, and his wrists don't go this way. They still twist at the forearm, but they don't go up and down. However, considering how these ones can barely go up, these ones, I actually see this as a little bit of an improvement. So Robert Downey Jr. here is kind of like, one fist, one open. If you want, he can kind of go like, I'm gonna rough you up, like we do in Hollywood. And then if you want to armor him up, now, the Batman armor-up figures always had one thing, which I found amusing, which is when you put stuff on the hands, it was usually like a giant plastic mitten with the arm completely unexposed on the bottom. This guy forgoes that simply by having you peg them off and peg on replacements. Like so. And the replacement hands are both kind of like the open, I have fingers hand. It's kind of funny how between all these figures, this is the only fist. As you can see on the Mark III, he's pointing. People who tried to have him punching the ground tend to have it look a little bit more like he tried to punch the ground and broke his wrist on it, but that's, again, sculpting, you give or take. Now, you also add the shoulder pieces on here. Now, on this figure, pop-off shoulder pieces are a feature, but I thought it was kind of amusing how they took that part of the design and just sort of carried it around. It's either a feature or it's an unfortunate fragile point. Now, this chest piece does clip on really nicely. It goes on solid. To get it off, you actually really have to tug, but not frustratingly so. And no matter which little chest circle you plug in there, it looks like it would be pretty recessed. As you can see, there's a lot of space in there. Apparently that's actually more accurate to the movie than this one, which is basically popping out of the little hole in his chest, but we'll see when it comes around. And of course you put the helmet on, and there you go. Now, the only downside is, when you put the helmet on, if you look really close underneath here, let's see if we can see it. Yeah, you forgot the chin piece, and you can see some Robert Downey goatee. But, it's still, I think it's really awesome for an, a dress-me-up action figure, considering how these usually go. Side by side, you can not really tell which one has the armor removable unless you look at the little chest piece, and even then you'd probably have to know beforehand. You can also swap their heads around if you want to have a posable Iron Man with the torso joint and a removable helmet and exposed goatee. But yeah, overall they're really cool. They come with a little brochure that was completely mangled up. I'm not going to flip through it for you because I want to leave you with some surprise when you find these figures yourself. One really odd thing I just want to point out, these are the bubbles they came in. Whoa! Yeah, Tony Stark, you know how he is. Tipsy, even in toy form. And on the back, there's all this stuff printed on the back side of all of these little bits. I am not sure why they did that other than cool factor, but I really think it's cool. Anyway, this is Internet Personality Vangelus, signing off for now. Me and my two rich Iron Man buddies are going to go out in the town. We'll see you cats later. I almost forgot one of the best features. When you remove Robert Downey Jr.'s unexposed hands, you also get the ultimate crossover sidekick. It's Thing! From the Addams family, you know. Oh, never mind.